Okay, now, without further ado, our very distinguished guests will be introduced by Mr. Kent Just.
First of all, before I introduce these young people, on Facebook a day ago, Patty Minner Morgan posted a picture of her dad, Bill Miller from this club, who passed away 2 years ago Saturday. And she said, "Would you remember him at Rotary?" And I said, "Yeah, we sure as hell will." What a great guy he was. And so, Patty, I did it. I did it the way I was supposed to. By a show of hands, how many of you in this room have ever worn the blue jacket? You bet. Proudly worn the blue jacket. You darn right. Well, I'll tell you, when I was going to high school in Firth, Idaho, in the 1950s, boy, if you didn't have a blue jacket, you were nothing. You know, you had to have the blue jacket. Well, I wanted the blue jacket and was very involved in FFA and really enjoyed it. And we've had these young people coming to town now for, I think, 28 years at CSI this time of the year, and for their leadership conference. And I remember it used to be about 1,000 kids came. Well, now there's about 1,500 of them show up every year. So the FFA organization is still not only important at Firth High School, but in high schools all across Idaho and around the entire nation. And every year when they come, they elect a new leadership team. And so all the officers change this week, and these two young people that are here today were elected to statewide office last year. And I can tell you that Kent, are you a program? Yes, I am. Since I couldn't get Terry to come up, I can tell you that Mr. Smith, you'll be glad to know that this young man right here is the grandson of Mr. Lake from Blackfoot, Idaho. So there you go. Fellow legislator with you. These two young people, Jake Lake is from Burley, and Anna Pratt is from Blackfoot. Now, this is the first time I've met Jake. What a great young guy. We've had an interesting time, but I've known Anna for a few years, like since the day she was born, because she's part of our family. And 2 years ago, her brother was the state president of FFA, and now she's the state vice president. And her brother, who was to be here with us today, is the Western Region National President, or National Vice President, I should say. He couldn't make it today because you know what the planes do in Twin Falls? They hit here at 12:30. So there just wasn't going to be time to get him here, and so he's not with these people. But let me tell you that FFA folks are great folks, as you know, and their message is always important about youth leadership and how it affects them, and agriculture and all that kind of thing. So I'm really proud to say that Anna's mother was a Reed. Anna's dad is a Pratt. My mother was a Pratt. My dad was a cousin of the Reeds. So here we are. We have the same bloodlines on both sides of our family, and I know I couldn't be prouder. I think she's a little nervous, okay? But anyway, I didn't even ask these two, are you going to do this together? Are you going to do it? Oh, they are going to do it together. So I am, thank you, Jack, for allowing me to now shut up and give you Jake Lake and Anna Pratt from the Idaho FFA organization.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is a distinct pleasure to be here this afternoon and to share your Rotary Club meeting with you. I come from a family that is pretty heavily involved in production agriculture. Some of my greatest memories growing up were riding on the four-wheeler with my dad to go check spuds and, quote, building character while moving pipe. So even though I come from a strong production agriculture background, my FFA career began later than most. I did not choose to join the organization my freshman year. I was bound and determined and a little thick-headed and was determined to make my own way in this world and not follow in my older brothers and sisters' footsteps. But luckily, due to a quite persuasive ag teacher, I was coerced my sophomore year into joining the Burley chapter parliamentary procedure team. And little did I know that my life would never be the same after that moment. I've had a lot of interesting and valuable experiences in my time spent in the FFA, but perhaps one of the most rewarding and most interesting occurred this last July as a state officer. Anna and myself were able to attend what is called SPC, or State President's Conference, in Washington, D.C. We flew back and met with every other state president and vice president from every state, plus the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. And during the week, we received a lot of leadership training and were informed on how the delegate process was going to occur at the National FFA Convention. We were able to go and meet with some of our congressmen and advocate for our industry, the ag industry. And we even got to sit down and chat with the Secretary of Agriculture, Tom Vilsack. It was really inspiring. And I've had multiple experiences that have been inspiring, but this one was perhaps the most because I literally was able to rub shoulders with some of America's best youth. And that really is what the FFA is all about, is developing youth and helping them grow as people.
Oh, sorry. I feel like I have a pretty traditional start into the FFA. The roots in my family go way back, and my grandpa has his American degree, which is a big honor in the FFA. It's the highest degree that the National Association can bestow. And my dad has his, and so does my brother. And I'll get mine, hopefully this next October. So my roots are pretty deep, and my dad was an ag advisor for about 12 years in Firth. And so I joined the FFA with gusto, and I participated in CDEs, and I really liked it, but I wasn't entirely sure why. I was just kind of bred into it, if so to speak, and it wasn't until state office, actually, that I realized what a valuable organization we represent. And it's been such an eye-opening experience, and I couldn't have asked for a better way to come to the place that I am right now. So as state officers, I think 2 weeks after we got elected, we went to this conference called Blast Off, and it's an acronym. FFA is full of them. It's an acronym for Building Leaders and Strong Teams of Officers. So we go here, and as a state officer and as a team, they put you through a series of conferences and trainings that first help you personally give to your team and figure out ways to give to the organization. And then the next conference, which is a couple months later, helps us as a team work together and affect the organization. And at this conference, I first realized what my strengths are personally and what I can give to the association that I represent. And it was probably the founding moment and pivotal moment of my state officer career. And since then, it's just been a great ride. And there's a lot of times, like we'll go to industry visits all day long. Like yesterday, we visited Scarrow Meats and Schooler's Grain Company, and that was phenomenal. And then now we're getting ready and miking up and practicing for a leadership conference, and then we get to meet with community members during the day for lunch. It's just go, 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 but it's every time it's valuable things that we get to do. And sometimes at the end of the day, I remember being so tired and so drawn out the only thing that I really knew was that I had a family that loved me, a team that supported me, and that I represented a great organization. And holding an attitude of gratitude at all times has been pivotal, and I definitely hold an attitude of gratitude for all of you and all that you do.
These experiences that we just shared really embody and capture what the FFA is all about. If you want to take a look over here to my right at this flip chart, this is what we refer to in the FFA as the three-circle model. This is what we credit our success as an organization to, and this is really what makes the FFA and ag education so effective, and this is what allows us to make a difference in the lives of students. The FFA's mission statement is to make a positive difference in the lives of students by developing their potential for premier leadership, personal growth, and career success, and we accomplish that through agricultural education. The circle closest to me says classroom and laboratory. This is where students enter the classroom environment and atmosphere, and they are instructed and guided by an ag teacher. They then take that knowledge and apply it in real life situations through FFA and SAE projects, or supervised agricultural experiences. I want to talk a little bit about the FFA portion of that. We have two main things where students are able to apply the knowledge that they learn in their classes, and those are CDEs. Anna said that we love acronyms, and yes, we do. That stands for Career Development Event, and those are our competitive events such as prepared public speaking, livestock evaluation, dairy cattle evaluation. Those give students an opportunity to compete and learn more about their chosen field or their chosen occupation. And it allows them to explore the possibilities of what they could possibly do to become more involved in agriculture. And then the other thing that falls under the FFA circle is leadership experiences. And that is chapter, district, state, and national offices. We're granted amazing experiences as state officers, as are our district officers throughout the state and the chapter officers throughout the state. It allows students to get a hands-on experience with leadership. I can tell you right now that ag advisors are just that. They're advisors. The FFA programs in your communities, especially here in the Twin Falls area, are student-ran. The other portion that allows our students to apply their knowledge that they gain in the classroom and laboratory setting is SAE projects, supervised agricultural experiences. This can range from raising a livestock project for the county fair and showing that project and selling it at the annual auction, to there's a gal over in the Boise Valley area who operates her own babysitting company for parents who are involved with harvest time and agriculture. Our SAE projects throughout the state are widely varied. Our FFA members are tax-paying, contributing citizens of this state and nation, and I think that says a lot for the type of individuals and the type of members that we have. The FFA motto is learning to do, doing to learn, earning to live, and living to serve. And through this three-circle model and through the FFA, we really do just that.
So the reason, as was mentioned before, that 1,500 FFA members and Blue Jackets will be storming Twin Falls this week is for our state leadership conference. And just like being or wearing a firefighter jacket doesn't make you a lifesaver, wearing this blue corduroy jacket doesn't make you a leader or a strong FFA member that's involved. And what we do here at this conference is recognize the actions of our FFA members throughout the year. So the service that they've done and the practicing that they've done for horse evaluation, or the things that they've learned throughout the year, and to commend them on a job extremely well done and bring them all together is so pivotal to our year. And so we thank you very much for letting us come to Twin Falls. And the FFA is definitely in an evolving organization. We started out with just 33 young farm boys in 1928, and since then have changed from the Future Farmers of America to just the National FFA organization. And that's to embrace the diversity that FFA is experiencing. For, I think, the past 10 years is all, we've had a STAR award that actually has to do with SAEs that's in agri-science. And a lot of FFA for probably 50 years had been about ag production and farming. And now it's starting to embrace all the various facets of agriculture. So we've got a girl from Mackay, Idaho that's doing a SAE project and has a STAR award in agri-science, and she's researching mountain whitefish and actually getting paid by the Forest Service to do so. And so the spectrum is definitely changing, and we're looking for progress, and we definitely respect our past and respect ag production, and that's what FFA is all about. But we're changing and modifying, so it's been a great experience. We've been in Twin Falls for I think about 20 years now, and it's been a great experience, and we're very happy to be back again. And Jake and I are also very happy to meet with all of you, people who share FFA's same mission and values, and that's so pivotal, and we're really impressed by how much service you all do and how service-oriented the Rotary is. So it's been a great experience. Thank you very much for having us out today, and we wish you the best of luck for the coming year.
Anna and Jake will take a couple of questions if you have any. Scott?
Yeah. What, do they still have like welding classes, or what type of classes do you get incorporated into your FFA program?
You name it, we've got it. That really is the truth, especially in today's world and the route that Idaho education in general is taking. We're going to be to the point here in about a year that we will have online agricultural classes available to our students. Just an example of a smattering of classes that are available in the state. We have anything from fish and wildlife science classes to the shop ag mechanics side of things, over to the animal science, zoology, to the plant science, botany, agronomy side of things. We have it all. We really do.
Scott?
So how do people tap into your resource? Do farmers call you and ask you to consult with them?
Do you want to go for that? You can do it. Seems like you don't.
Let me see if I understand your question. So you're asking how people in agriculture and in the agricultural industry can use the FFA as a resource, correct? Yeah, definitely. There's multiple chapters throughout the state that, for example, I'm going to tote on the Burley chapter. They have production agriculturists come into their shop quite frequently during the school year and ask students to build projects and fabricate different types of machinery for their farming or ranching operations. Another example of the FFA and ag students being tapped as a resource is the Idaho Fish and Game. There's 3 chapters in the state of Idaho that every year grow and plant bitterbrush and sagebrush for the Idaho Fish and Game. So definitely we encourage communities and individuals involved in agriculture to use the FFA as a resource, because it provides valuable experiences not only for the person who is using them as a resource, but also for our students and our FFA members.
How about one more round of applause for these 2 outstanding students?